Hamjambo, this is Ruth Kamau, and welcome to aFree Africa, where we celebrate Africa and things African. The village of Ntambo is what became Brazzaville in 1880. During World War II, Brazzaville was the de-facto capital of a free France. In 2013, Unesco designated Brazzaville as a city of music, adding Brazza to the Creative Cities Network. Flanked by the mighty Congo River and the Nabemba Tower offering panoramic views, Brazzaville captivates in its earthy vibrancy of art, music, and cultural vivacity. Twendeni, Africa is ready. Sylvestre Kabassidi is a rebel with a sensitive soul. Though born in Pointe Noire, the oil-rich region of the Republic of Congo, he has many fond memories of life with his grandfather in Brazzaville, the capital city. He emigrated from the ROC in 1994, and in his travels from the motherland, Sylvestre found that the foundation his parents gave him included life skills that went beyond his university learning and formed the mainstay of thriving in the new countries he found himself. Journeying through Angola, Sylvestre paused for almost 5 years in Namibia. He arrived in Cape Town in 2006 and has made this city home, cradled by the majestic Table Mountain and teased by the frothing Atlantic Ocean. Sylvestre represents a genre of African artists who emphasize fragile melodies and poetic lyrics, melodiously taking African music in new directions. So let's get going with this conversation with Sylvestre Kabassidi. So, Sylvestre, I can say Botezenyu to you as a greeting, or I can say Botenayo. Why the difference?
Mbotezeno is different to Mbotenayo linguistically speaking. Mbotenayo in Lingala, Mbotezeno in Kikongo. Kikongo, it's where the Congo names comes from, meaning that the language spoken in Congo is Kikongo.
Okay.
Yes, so Kikongo, going back in the real history of the continent.
Right.
The Congo was a kingdom, one of the most powerful kingdom, and I think it's one of the kingdom which has the most explicit historic recording.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it expanded from the Congo, DRC, which is the Congo DRC now, Angola, and the Congo Republic.
Where you're from.
Yes. But I'm actually, if we have to go back in time, we are from the Congo, the Bakongo. The Bakongo, the capital of the Bakongo is in the DRC.
Is that Kinshasa?
Kinshasa.
Okay.
No offense, we are one people.
Okay.
Now, depending on which side of the country you find yourself in,
right.
But the Bakongo had a city. They had a city.
And the city's original name?
Is the Congo Dantotela. Congo Dantotela, that's where the Congo capital is. And even up to date...
Congo Dantotela.
Congo Dantotela.
Okay.
That's where
it's beautiful.
Yes, that's where our ancestors comes from.
Okay.
So when you look at, in Angola, the DRC and the Republic of the Congo, we had no border. There is no border up to today.
And the river separates Brazza and Kinshasa, isn't it?
It's just separate Brazzaville and Kinshasa. But in the deeper side of the country, you will find there will be a landscape where there is no river, but the two people live together. Your wife is here, your husband, if we speak about polygamy, you have one wife on the other side. Yes.
Yeah, I can understand that because even, our borders, we didn't draw our borders.
No.
We lived seamlessly before the scramble for Africa, let me put it that way, before the colonial powers, decided in Brussels. We lived as seamlessly. And so I think even with Kenya, with Uganda and Kenya, the people were like that, where all of a sudden your uncle is on this side.
It's all over.
It's all over.
Yes.
It's all over.
Even,
that's true.
Even in West Africa, also
Yes.
it manifests a lot.
Yes.
So I just feel it awkward the way people have capitalized or decapitalized in Congo without talking about the deep sense of it. Just the way things went along up to today, because when they speak, they differentiate between the DRC or Brazzaville or Angola. It's not confusing, but sad.
I think here in Ikaya, we have someone from ROC, where you're from. We have someone from DRC, and we have someone from Angola, and they speak seamlessly, And so obviously Angola, they will also speak Portuguese, and then you would speak French, right?
Yes.
But there's that sense of cousinness, And I had a guest on Wasafiri who referred to the cousinness of us, in the sense that we, even with the people from South Africa, you have the Ndebele, you have the Xhosa, you have the Zulu, and we're all related. And it's so important that as we think of Africa as a continent, that we remember that we are more alike than we are different, and we should stop focusing on our differences. But I want to also ask you about Lari, the language. So how does that come in?
The Lari is just, how should I put it? As we move, we change. Lari is Kikongo. When you speak Lari, someone who speaks Lari, and those in the DRC or Angola who speaks Kikongo,
right?
They don't need any translator in between.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Just to make sense, the Congo, and it seems to me, when I look at the Angola concept, which made Brazil like something extraordinary,
right?
Is because a lot of slaves were taken from the Congo, the Kingdom of Congo, but then they were taken to Angola for the transatlantic commerce.
Okay, so that transatlantic slave trade took people from the Congo south to Angola, and then to the rest of the world.
Yes.
Okay, I get
and
it.
from Pointe Noire as well.
Yeah.
Pointe Noire.
I've been to Pointe Noire.
They took slaves from Pointe Noire, so they will take slave from the deep Congo to the coast.
That's quite a trek, eh?
Yes. That's why you will find a big influence of the Congolese culture, the Congo culture, in Cuba, and in South America. Colombia, Brazil, you don't need to mention, all South America. They are Congo.
Heritage.
Yes. And our attention has been diverted to slaves taken from
West Africa,
Ghana. No,
not just
I'm
there.
not denying that.
No, we're not denying that. No. We're just saying there were different routes.
But remember, there are more slaves taken in Central Africa, in the Congo Kingdom, from the Congo Kingdom. That's why we have all that influence in the Caribbean. Wycliffe, his roots is in the Congo. Bob Marley, this is not a joke. So my mother, the roots in Congo, not exactly, not where, but they found themselves being taken from Congo. And for me, it's like, I feel, no, man, but you need to tell people the real story. And this is what we exactly talking about. They are reference.
Absolutely. That's what Wasafiri Africa is all about. And if anybody has listened to the preview, it's about traveling through the continent of Africa and celebrating Africa and things African, we need to own that we come from a magnificent continent with magnificent heritage. I can't use any other words. I can't say wonderful. I can't say awesome. I just think Africa is magnificent in all its glory. Yes, there are contradictions, and we'll talk about them in every conversation. But the fact is, when you consider a loved one, you don't only look at their flaws. You look at their good points as well, because that's what makes somebody a whole human being. So this is really exciting for me to be able to share my love for this continent with people who love it and who want to present an authentic version of who we are. So, Sylvestre, tell me a little bit about growing up. Did you grow up mostly in Pointe Noire, or did you grow up mostly in Brazzaville?
I grew up mostly in Pointe Noire, but come and here, and I moved. I will go on holiday to my grandparents who lived in a rural area, so I was quite exposed to reality of life.
Oh, good.
Brazzaville always, because I have a family, so I lived between Brazzaville and Pointe Noire, where during holiday time, vacation, I went to Brazzaville or to my grandparents. But during school, I stayed in Pointe Noire until the next move when I went to university.
And so when you left the Republic of Congo in 1994, things were changing there. There was a difference that had come, and I think you mentioned it's, we look at the global situation, and the Berlin Wall had fallen in 1989, and Russia had gotten a new way of living when Gorbachev came into power, I think in 1990.
Yeah,
somewhere around there. So that impacted on how Africa was also handled. It becomes this geopolitical movements of chess.
I don't even think we knew about the geopolitics.
No, we didn't know.
We didn't know,
but it impacted us because our leaders knew what was happening.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
That impacted a lot.
Yes.
And I'm grateful that I'm still be alive, because I can relate to what really happened, to the changes we experienced since the fall of the Berlin Wall. And today, I hear about people talking about the Cold War. So I said, oh, wow. So I lived in the Cold War. So, yes, it makes quite a big difference of the way I see things, and I'm grateful for that.
And this is the thing. So, today our conversation is about your perspective of Africa and how that influences who you are. So if you could take us on a journey from when you left the Republic of Congo in 1994 and how you journeyed south and where you went and what those experiences brought to your mind, how they've informed you, and it's you, it's visceral, it's who you are. You can't deny it, and you celebrate it, and what that does in giving you a perspective of the Africa that we're living in today.
It was first the discovery of being Muntu. Muntu is a one person. Being just alone. Then Bantu being a group, which that's a word I've grew up. Kuzulula Bantuko, if you don't love people, you can't build a village. So
that's powerful.
So I heard that word for the first time in Angola. I wasn't very much intrigued. When I got to Namibia, I heard it again. And in South Africa, it just accentuated the way I view things, because the word Bantu in South Africa became diminutive, something not valued. it was like, I mean, I don't know if you remember.
Of course, because of apartheid.
So
I remember like Stephen Biko would always identify him as Bantu.
Yes.
Stephen Biko, that's how he identified himself, because he was trying to bring back the pride in being Bantu.
But the interpretation of that word Bantu from certain people, for me, when Steve Biko...
he was an exception.
Yes, when I hear Steve Biko saying back in time that he spoke about the Bantu, I was so proud. And I've always been. So when people spoke about Bantu education, I was like, but the Bantu education are the real deal, I was never offended. I said to people, yes, we are Bantu because we are a group of people. And if we are together, we can move mountains, changing things around. What does it take? It takes people, not one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that legacy of Bantu, for me, I've never ever heard that word in a negative way. It always pushes me to the limit where I reinforce and explain it that you need to take a pride on that word Bantu, which is people. It's all you. If Chimuntu, it's a personality being good. Like we do say, Miss Karnau, you have Chimuntu, so you are a good person, and that is what is requiring us, being nice. If I have to put it,
just being, coming from a point of accommodating and loving people.
Chimuntu.
Exactly, Chimuntu. Instead of, my mother used to say to us, because we lived in the farms, and people are walking, they're walking from one place to another, and they're crossing through farms, and they get thirsty. And my mother used to say, if anybody comes and asks you for a glass of water, you must give that glass of water. You don't look how they're dressed or anything. You must give that glass of water, because that is what in South Africa is known as Ubuntu, and it's now an African.
Now in Kikongo, or let's say in Lari or Kikongo, now we call that Chimuntu.
Chimuntu.
Yes. You are a Muntu, you are a human being. You are Bantu, we are in a group.
A collective.
Now, when you have Chimuntu, so you only have good intention and being nice, that's Chimuntu, then you make a strong community because you are together.
And it's safe. It's safe for everybody.
For example.
And it's actually a fallacy that it wasn't safe when, that Africa was not a safe place before. It was a safe place before, because the name Wasafiri Africa Wasafiri is a Kiswahili word for the travelers. And so we're travelers of Africa. And Africans have been traveling on the continent since time immemorial. And you had to have that safety of traveling. And you go to a village and you introduce yourself to... and then they give you a place to sleep, even if it's for one night, and then you carry on.
Yes, that's in Africa. They've always been given piece of land. When you arrive, if you came from a different land, before they ask you where you come from, you will sleep at night, and they would like to know where you're going, what you're doing here, where you are from. They won't ask you on the same time.
Not the same time.
So when that happened, then they decide if they have to place you somewhere. I mean, give you a piece of land, because they didn't give you a fish, but they show you how to fish.
100%. 100%.
That is how I think I look at it. That's the way it works.
One of the things that I know is a culture amongst us, and we were also brought up this way, is that a guest is only a guest for the first day. And then the second day, you let them come with you to the farm where you're doing whatever it is.
Yes.
And then they must pick up the hoe or whatever it is that you're doing, contribute to the livelihood. So when you're traveling and you're staying with your uncle, I believe you stayed with your uncle in Namibia, what was something happened there that introduced you to the career that you're in now? Can you tell us about that?
I used to sing since I was a child. So, and apparently good, very good. I was good.
Apparently still very good.
Yeah. So when I got to Namibia, I mean, it's just like speaking Lari or Kikuyu or whatever. You want forget what you have.
Yes.
Luckily, I was so fortunate. I was surrounded with good people by the grace of the High Mighty. So I came across great artists who, like the likes of Papa Wemba, who told me that I should, consider singing.
So Papa Wemba must have been in Congo, though.
Yeah, Papa Wemba came to Congo many times.
Wasn't he Congolese?
He was a Congolese from the DRC.
Yes, yeah.
But very familiar with Brazzaville because they have a show. They had shows all the time.
Yeah, we grew up with Papa Wemba.
Yeah. So Papa Wemba told me that I should consider making music because apparently I was good and a good voice for a very short time we were together. So that inspired me.
I like your modesty.
Yeah. So yes, and the rest was history. And so I did it in composition to the church because I think I missed singing in the church. So that environment just culminated into doing what I love.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And in Namibia, you worked with some headliners. I remember you told me that sometime long ago.
Yes. There are so many good things happened that I can't even tell. Yeah. So great things. So great.
Then you left Namibia and you came to Cape Town.
Yes. Leaving Namibia...
Did you drive here?
Yes. We came by Intercab. And,
Intercab?
Yes.
A taxi?
No, Intercab.
Oh, Intercape, the bus.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I thought that must have cost a fortune.
Yes.
Okay.
The whole idea was not to stay in Cape Town. So we were
really?
We were like on a transit, on transit.
Where are you going?
Who
knows?
No, we knew where we were going.
Oh, where were you going?
We were going to the land of honey and milk, to Europe. So when we got here...
Okay, yeah, actually, because most French people go to Europe.
Yes, so when we got here...
Yeah, I mean, French-speaking African, I should qualify
when
that.
When we arrived here, we had... we were permanent resident in Namibia.
Oh.
So we thought when we get here, we could easily travel. But now, at the time we went to apply for visas, they say, no, we are resident permanent, not here in Namibia. So we can go, we need to go and apply for a visa and travel from there. So
they were asking you to go back?
Yes. So that was the end game. And... yes, that was
it's called research.
Yeah,
the researcher in your group was not very thorough. Hey?
So, back then there was no internet. So
it's true, right? By the way, internet. Can we just... No. There was internet. We were doing emails. Okay, so anyway, so you ended up staying in Cape Town.
Yes.
Okay.
I ended up.
And where did you live?
I lived in I lived in observatory.
Okay. Oh, that's very good for an artist. It's a very bohemian part of Cape Town.
But the weird thing, I lived in a block where there was a club underneath, so we had music like 7 days a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't remember if they were still had the regulations with noise, but it was not a good experience because you have, while you're sleeping, your bed sometimes shakes. Anyway, yeah.
So, here you are, you've arrived in Cape Town in 2006 and you're not getting any sleep and you've been disappointed because now obviously endgame has happened as far as going to Europe. But you have your craft. So you call yourself a rebel with a sensitive soul. Why?
Because I say things sometimes people are scared to say it. Not to offend people, but they think that it will make them uncomfortable. I mean, I talk about reality, not dreams. I think we can see and hear what's happening around us. And so that makes a human being human, to choose what's wrong and what's good, what to support and not to support. So
Can I make a request? Please. Can you play me that song that you sing about Mandela and Fidel Castro and...
yeah, I will sing something like that.
What do you want to play, Sylvester? So this is the thing about my friends and people that I meet. They're very independent thinkers, and I love about them. And I think also the whole thing about playing from your heart and speaking from your heart is something that is not very possible these days, because people feel they can only say certain things and behave in a certain way. And the atmosphere around Wasafiri Africa is creating that largesse, allowing you to be your most authentic self.
Yeah, let me... it's just a question, because... so you give the answer. I don't know if I'm talking nonsense, but it goes like this. De notre amour, mamae, je ne peux rien changer pour toi et moi. De notre amour, mamae, je ne peux rien changer pour toi et moi. Pauni yula te kame yula, jana nya tuzabirimba tukulo, yula nyonji bakiri mambu. Tanji wele nsangwe abana bawunda mbe batuzebyo fumuza beto bamanaza wunda buyula myonchi bakiri mambwe kweba mindele buyula myonchi bakiri mambwe kweba mindele fumuza beto ni nani wa wunda zo Nelson Mandela nani wankangae Steve Biko nina wankula Patrice Lumbumba nina wangandae Kwame Nkrumah nina wahunda Muammar Gaddafi nina wantekae Uyula myonchi bakiri mambwe Kuba mindele Luther King nina wahunda Malcolm X nina wankula Mfumuza beto ba manaza unda Ambe malutama beto ba mana mayoka Buyula myonchi bakiri mambwe Kuba mindele For example, yes, you don't need to understand, you think, and don't tell them, otherwise you'll be in trouble. Yes.
Thank you. Indeed. How do we answer those questions?
Like we've said sometimes, I mean, let's apply the Chimuntu to take charge. We don't need to be activist. Just, to be activist or the activism is not a job. I see people, activists, talking about this and that. We should learn to be a bit constructive, but tell it the way it is. That is our duty today. And I've always said to myself, I'm not money to be loved by anybody, by everybody. What you hear is what I am. What you hear is what I think about. You make your own judgment.
I love it. I love it because it's about allowing yourself to be your most authentic self, allowing yourself to celebrate who you are and your heritage, where you've come from. And we come from Africa. We come from this place where our forefathers walked before us. You know, now even Africans are afraid to use a word like ancestor. And ancestor actually just means those who came before you. And I have to honor my parents. I have to honor my grandparents. I have to remember the price that they paid for me to be able to speak English in the way that I speak English, to be able to live in Cape Town. I stand on their shoulders and I celebrate them. And I celebrate their bravery and I celebrate so much about them that I can't not love this magnificent continent of Africa.
So we should join them to calling our ancestors guardian angels. Maybe it sounds more beautiful and more practical with our modernity instead of calling them ancestors. Because when it comes to ancestors, it's opposed to the Bible, which I don't want to say this is bad, but should we not stand with the ancestors whom the other side call guardian angels? Because in Congo, by the Bakongo, they've always asked and thanks their ancestors on every day's life since the beginning of time. So I still have the courage to call them and express my gratitude to what they do for me, because I believe they are around me all the time. And I'm just grateful, especially to my grandfather. That is an example for me, for someone who never set foot in a church. He was not evil, but a great person.
Yeah, I think some people did not even come across. For example, if you speak about specifically Christianity, there are some people who didn't come across Christianity by the time they passed, but it didn't make them bad people.
My grandfather came across Christianity, but that was when it was forced into people, because he spoke to me about his grandfather being put on his knee and beaten up by an European. So he refused to believe in Jesus Christ, which I don't blame him.
I think we need to, this is just my personal opinion, that we need to understand that the people who used force and killed people, hanged people, that was not, if you read the Bible, Jesus never did that. You know, and I think it's an important distinction for people to remember, that people can embody something and it is no longer representative. It's like how you send an ambassador who goes rogue. You know, you send them across to another country. They're supposed to represent your country, and then they're driven by self-interests, and you have to fire them, basically. And so there are people who came under the guise of Christianity, there's no doubt, onto the continent, but I would hesitate to say that they represented the teachings of Christ. But that is a different discussion.
For example. So
now we move on and we say, okay, so this magnificent continent of ours has given us so much. We have amazing resources, we have rare minerals, we have vistas, you know, from North Africa to South Africa, east to west. And Sylvestre, for you, where do you consider, like, whether you've been there or not on the continent, if you could pick 3 places that you really either would like to go or have gone and they have stayed with you, where would that be?
I would like to go and see Somalia.
Okay.
Yes, Somalia, because of the trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to see them.
Why do you want to see trouble? Why don't you want to see Somalia like like Somaliland is thriving. Why don't you want to see Somalia in this thriving?
Yeah, Somaliland is just a portion of Somalia.
That's true.
And they carry on cutting into pieces because nowadays they are claiming the independence or whatever they call it in terms of geopolitics. But they want to be separated from Somalia. And it's kind of not bothers me. I find it a bit weird.
But don't you want to see the whole region thriving, people living in peace?
Of course. Peace is peace is the most great resource which Africa should understand and should see to reveal. Otherwise, many conflicts in the continent are supported by the outsiders. But we need to take charge and see that we apply that chimuntu to come to term and maybe counter that. Yeah, it's worrisome to me. Yeah, because I see that we get involved or dragged into what is not ours.
And we need to own that that peace, as you say, is going to be our most vital resource.
Yes,
I like that.
Yeah, you've just spoke about, mentioned a rogue ambassador. I mean, what are our states? And when you look at those people running our states, they usually have a very sad penchant to ever finance them or not locally. We are waking up because things are said in front of us, and you can hear, you can see that. So now we should understand that those wars are not.
They're not benefiting us.
Not about benefiting who instigate them.
Who is
and
instigating,
how.
yes. Yeah.
I mean, have you seen Papa Trump and Mr. Zelensky? He told him, you do this. And I said to many of my black people now, I think I'm over the moon to tell you that listen to what that man's saying. That when we speak about Uhuru Kenyatta, we speak about Denis Sassou Nguesso, we speak about the Laurent Gbagbo, we speak about any head of state, they've been chosen. If you have no business with them, they want to support you. And I mean, if they treat someone like that, Zelensky, they tell him to keep quiet, and you have. I mean, imagine.
So what you're saying is that they do not respect the choice of the people.
No.
Yeah. So, but basically,
let them go and listen to Uncle Trump. That encounter between Uncle Trump and Mr. Zelensky.
Yeah.
Then I'm saying nothing.
Yes.
Then they will know how that game works. So if they can treat someone like that, like in that way. What about Denis Sassou Nguesso? You probably receive orders to say, okay, you're paying your public servant tomorrow or after tomorrow. I've just said, so it's up to you to think.
Okay, so you would love to go to Somali? Another place?
I would like to go to Ile de la Gorée.
Okay.
And Kenya.
Okay, Ile de la Gorée, why?
Because of this.
And Somali is on the eastern coast of Africa,
yes.
And Ile de la Gorée is also.
Ile de la Gorée is in Senegal side.
See?
It's in Senegal.
West Africa.
West Africa, yes. Mm-hmm. There, it's about the slavery movement. The slavery traffic, commerce, I would say, because they have quite an interesting history.
My French is not fantastic. So Ile is island,
yes,
and Gorée is like terrible.
No, Ile de la Gorée is just like how do you say it? It's a name like Brazzaville, Gorée.
But Gorée must mean something.
No, yeah. It means something, but it's actually just a name,
Okay.
I suppose.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We can always look that up.
For example.
Yes. So you'd like to go there because of the history.
Yes, because of the history, because of the movement of the people.
Right.
Yeah. Many people left, so there was a kind of an internal displacement of people during slavery. Because I remember my father, because I used to be naughty when I was a child. My father used to say, if you were born back then, a century back, I mean, not even a century back, you would have been sold. I mean, so you were selling your own people. You say, no, my boy, the naughty one.
Well, this is an uncomfortable truth. And for some people in Africa who say, no, that never happened.
No, it happened.
It happened. And then I know the Woman King, that movie with Viola Davis, it addresses that issue. And it might be unpopular to think that, people on the continent were selling their own, the people who they had, defeated in a war, or people who they found troublesome into slavery.
Yes.
But yeah, it did happen. And that's why we need to call a spade and not a big spoon. Let's just deal with what it is in our past that participated or enhanced a difficult time for us. And then that's how we learn and that's how we grow. And where would you like to go in Kenya?
In Mombasa. In
East Africa. Mombasa is East Africa.
In Nairobi.
Okay.
Yes.
The city in the sun.
Yes. The connection with Kenya is I've come.
It's me.
Yes, it's you. And I mean, I've always called you
Kikuyu.
Kikuyu.
You always call me Kikuyu.
So all I say Kikuyu. In Lari they say Mukuyu. Kikuyu.
Yes.
That is the language now. They want to say if you say Mukuyu,
Did we used to come that way?
I'm not sure, but the words are very similar.
They are. I've realized that from being here.
The changes as we move.
Yes.
Because if we have to come back to the Congo,
yes,
the people in the DRC, Congo, Brazzaville, Angola, speaking Congo, they will change. How do you say it in English? Kind of
the intonations.
The intonation or the dialect, but you don't need any translator.
You get it.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I get it just hearing my team speaking. I do get it. It's so fantastic.
That's why I love
you feel like you belong.
Yeah, that's why I love the social media now, because there are a lot of things I've discovered. I mean, I knew, but then it's just reaffirmed because I came across certain article which resonate with what I knew. So I feel it feels so good.
Good.
To not being
in isolation.
In isolation mentally.
Yes.
Yeah, because you don't know, and you have
because thoughts connect us.
Yeah. For example.
And the food. From the continent that you've enjoyed.
What is food?
Just three.
Food from everywhere. I mean, it's from south to north. I love food. Food is...
Well, I can see your eyes are even closed now. You're in a different zone.
Food, I think it's also something we could have used as a weapon.
We could have used food as a weapon?
Yes, to get together, because if we know each other's food, we will be very accessible to each other because we share the same thing. It's just a different way of making it, whatever.
So what food do you like?
I like my fufu, what you call cassava.
Okay, that's West Africa.
West Africa. In Central Africa, we do that as well. There's cassava. In Congo, your base is cassava.
Okay.
Anything.
Do you call it fufu though?
Fufu, it's when it's made in powder.
Okay.
It's become fufu.
Okay.
When they ground it. Otherwise, is cassava or manioc when it's made. Because it's a whole process.
Yeah.
So in different parts of Africa, they do different. They make it differently.
Okay.
Yeah,
another one.
Cassava is it's massive in Nigeria.
Cassava is massive. I mean, we eat cassava. We call it moaga.
Yeah.
It's very yummy. I love it when it's over the fire, and then I put some chili and lemon. It's good.
And bimpete, what you call sardines. Bimpete, those small fish.
Yes. What do you call them?
Bimpete.
Bimpete?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bimpete is, when you have enough. If it's one, it's chimpete. So, and it's also a kind of accessible easily.
How do you like to cook it?
You can fry it or make maboke. They put it in leaf. And
banana leaf or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So they cook it, they make it differently. But with the banana leaves, you will have that sauce still in, so it makes sense. And, what can I say? It's just a variety of food. It's too much.
It's too much?
It's too much.
Your mind is just like, all of these foods are coming
I'm confused.
Yeah.
I love Ethiopian food.
Yeah.
I love Somalians food.
Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And,
why is it weird?
No, because people don't talk about Somali's food. They only talk about war. In Somali, they
That's
don't...
why we're having this conversation. I was in Nairobi the other day, and my friend and I were waiting for something to be made in a shop in Biashara Street, and there was a Somali restaurant, or should I say the proprietors are Somali, and the food is mostly speaking to their heritage. And we went in, and we had such good food, and we enjoyed it so much. And this is the things that like you say, why do people not speak about that? Why do people talk only about the war? So it's not denying that the wars exist or whatever comes with that difficulty, but it's also understanding that there are things to celebrate about it. And so what do you like cooking most?
I like cooking, making soup. In English, they say soup.
Fish?
In French, they say bouillon. Yes, I like cooking dry salted fish.
Oh, I love dry salted fish.
With okra and tomato. Fresh, usually it looks very organic and clean. I like a fish à la braise. In English, they say, I think, braai. And when the fish is crying, so not dry, but you can feel the sauce.
Yes. The fish is crying. Oh my gosh, that's a bit sad. The fish is crying.
Not crying for said.
No, it's the juices. The juices are oozing out. And you're a musician.
Yes.
And besides your own music and music from Congo, but I probably shouldn't tell you what to choose. But where do you like your music from? Like you listen to different music from the continent. From where?
From everywhere. From everywhere.
Okay,
I just listen.
Sylvester.
From Congo, of course.
Yeah.
I listen the music from Congo.
Yeah.
I listen the music from Senegal.
Yes.
I listen music from Morocco, Algeria.
Yes.
South Africa.
Yes. You listen to everything.
I listen to
You're
everything.
like me. I'm like... this playlist of mine, 1 minute I'm in this part of the continent and
it's
the next.
Just like a food, right?
Yeah. Actually, that's a very interesting thing. It's like how you can have a craving for something. Sometimes I just want to listen to West African music. Sometimes I just want to listen to North African movies, and I'll play it for like 3 days in a row, sort of thing. And at Ikai, obviously, we play everything. But, it's just that sometimes I'm in that mood and I want to hear those guitars, or I want to hear the kora, or I want to hear the harps, or I want to hear those melodies in South Africa. So I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's why I believe we are from the Bible, because in Kikongo, they say Mfungiza David. There is a horn David blow on the mountain.
Oh, yes?
Yes. So that was the music.
Mfungiza David.
Mfungiza David, yes. My grandfather used to say music is from the God. So it's the language of God,
yes,
music.
Yes, I think you've said that to me before.
Yeah.
That your father said we sing, why?
No, because that's what connects us to God. That's why we sing. You see, black people, our mothers will sing for anything. While they are in the plantation, they sing. While the baby is crying, they sing. While they're cooking, they sing. So singing, it connects you with reality, with the nature, with with God.
You know, when you think about even calls to prayer, they're melodic. When you think about praise and worship, it's melodic. There's something about music
We don't say
that
it's
is extraterrestrial.
Yes.
It is extraterrestrial because a baby responds to music. And you don't have to teach a child to enjoy music.
That's why I believe in African spirituality. That's something I wouldn't like to own, but I own it with my being to say that this is what Africa is, according to my interpretation. You can't speak to God if not in your language. I was asked once, Samba, in what language do you dream?
So that's your other name, Samba.
Samba is my father's name, so that's my family name is Samba.
Okay, so it's Sylvestre Kabassidi Samba. Okay.
Kabassidi is Kabassidi.
Kabassidi.
It's Congo name, but Congo's name is Kabassidi. So as you know, in a black culture, a child is born. They name a child according to the circumstance he's born in. So they will give you a given surname, which is just for you. It's like a custom for you. That's why you won't find Kabassidi everywhere, because it's meaningful. It was meaningful to my parents during the time of my birth.
And what does it mean?
It's Kabassidi means whatever you do.
Whatever you do.
Whatever you do.
Oh my gosh, that is such a powerful name.
Yes, it's like
you're blessed whatever you do.
Yes. Ikaya Lodge is open, but someone somewhere want Ikaya Lodge to go bankrupt. So it's Kabassidi, whatever you do, Ikaya Lodge will go on fire.
Amen.
Which will always...
will always be thriving.
Yes. So whatever you wish against me, Kabassidi.
I get it. I get it.
But now it sounds a bit romantic when I say Kabassidi. I accept it that way.
No, Kabassidi is even more romantic.
Yeah. So my parents, my mom had a miscarriage before I was born.
Okay.
I think twice.
Oh, even more meaningful now.
Yes. So when I was born, they decided to name me Kabassidi. Whatever this child will walk earth and do whatever
Well, more power to that.
For example.
More power to that. Now that you're in this enthrall of music and what it means to us as an extraterrestrial sort of, force that is within each and every one of us. And that's why you don't need to understand the language to respond to music. You know, the beat it hones into something that is more primal within us. What melody comes to mind that you can share? Anything.
Vakakayula bayulaka kudyamina nthangu nako kudukila nthangu vatata vamama mutampa wa mwangana kambo chinkala cha tilangana pangala ya buza ye. Women run away. I mean, if we have to see it in a concept of Goma now, you see that movement. That is those melodies. That's what it means. That people had peace, and suddenly they just running left, right, center, for no apparent reason, but what they know.
Sylvestre, I cannot even begin to tell you what a pleasure it is always to talk to you. It is such fun. I think it's now been 18 years of conversations, and every time you manage to uplift me, you manage to challenge my thinking, you just inform me, and I hope that I bring that to you as well.
For example, yes, it's a great honor. I mean, it's always uplifting to talk about Africa, to alleviate a bit of those concerns into other people's mind that we still are, we will be, and we are Bantus.
And we are. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we've been having a delightful conversation with Sylvestre Kabassidi. And as we leave you with his music. Twendeni, Africa is ready.
Menombi, keno, meno na zolo. Ikeno. Zolo yao Samulu zolo kawe na wasakana nako Yamberu zolo mutima ye Mukento we nani wato mokundela kana Bulombi we nani bulombi wangola buna Ambe bukazo nzanzala na wakwanye Utalanka levangile bampero Menumu yandina kota na manisaya Kazonzanzala na wakwanye talagonda bangonda Itala sensa ban sensa Avant ma vie suivait son cours sur tous les germes d'espérance Jeté dans les ténèbres Et c'est un regard qui m'a pris à changer J'ai compris que je ne vivais pas sur les idées Mes yeux se sont ouverts sur tous les germes d'espérance qui jaillissent autour de moi. Mes oreilles se sont faites attentives. Il va tous les cris d'homme autour de moi. Elle m'a appris à vivre, Que ma vie soit musique, 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 que ma vie